Picking up from my last video on this 486 DLC core PCB, this is where I left it. This is an 8-layer PCB that I just used auto routing just to kind of see if it can make it through it okay. Knowing that later I'm hopefully going to do 80% of the work with manual routing. But 8-layer PCB, a lot of through hole, mostly entirely through hole, other than a couple of clock distribution chips. I have updated this to leverage more surface mount, and I shrunk the card a little bit, and that would be over here now. So I trimmed it down maybe 1/2 inch or a little bit more than that. Pulled things in a little bit tighter than they were before. You know, if I bounce back to the old card and compare here. But you'll see that as I do this, you know, this stuff has come down. I've moved over this PSOC and just done a little bit of rearranging. But then I've got surface mount. So you'll see that my address latches, these are all address latches over here. These three have to do with my shadowing process. These are my primary address latches. And then my RAM, I went to surface mount. And I didn't pick the smallest package. I picked a package that is easier for me to solder. But this is still smaller than the ones I was using. Data transceivers down here, surface mount. I've got additional latches over here for control signals. And then a couple of just miscellaneous logic ICs. And then the other stuff is staying through hole. So the PSOCs are through hole. My PIC is through hole, coprocessor, processor, and this initial basically reset chip is all through hole, and things like my oscillator. But this I did cut down to a 6-layer board. So this is a 6-layer. And if I go look at the stack up I'm using for that real quick, you can see 6-layer, and I'm basically doing a signal, ground, VCC, signal, ground, signal. And so I've got 3 signal layers that I can work with, a pair of grounds and VCC in the middle. And this is, you know, how that routing, at least the auto router, turned out. And I think it actually got everything routed. Again, likely not ideal with any auto router, but it lets me just test if the auto router can make it through it. Again, I think I can hopefully do better or learn how to do better as I work on this. But that's all I had for now. Is just this really quick few-minute update just to show what the surface mount version is kind of starting to look like. So going from an 8-layer, a lot more through hole, trimming it down to a 6-layer and a lot more surface mount. And that's kind of what it's looking like. You can see all the vias scattered all over here. So definitely I can probably do better on a lot of that as I move forward. But this is where it's at. So I appreciate all the discussion on the previous YouTube post. So thanks for that, and keep it coming.